The world is hurtling toward an economic catastrophe, and Washington's pulling the trigger. What began as a trade spat has morphed into a geopolitical doomsday device. This isn't just about tariffs. This is a covert war to erase China from the global map. And the collateral damage could bankrupt nations, crush your savings, and ignite a depression worse than the 1930s.
Let's start with Trump's bone-chilling slip-up. When asked if he'd forced Latin America to choose between the dollar or China's yuan, he shrugged. Maybe they should. Let that sink in. A global economic divorce, two rival blocs, Team America versus Team China. No middle ground, no neutrality, pick a side, or get crushed. Now here's where it gets insane. US tech giants are revolting. Take NVIDIA. The $2 trillion chip empire sprinted to Beijing the day Trump banned AI sales to China. Why? They're hooked on Chinese cash. 25% of their revenue comes from China. Without it, poof, stock crash, layoffs, collapse. And ASML, the Dutch crown jewel of chip tech? 27% of their sales rely on China. Trump's threatening to ban ASML exports unless the Netherlands joins his anti-China crusade. But guess what? China's already building their own ASML killers. Trump's playing 4D chess, more like Russian roulette, banning NVIDIA's H20 chip. That's a $5.5 billion suicide bomb. Why? Because those chips were designed to comply with US sanctions. Now NVIDIA's scrambling, and China's laughing all the way to the lab. Japan's Tokyo Electron, South Korea's Samsung, they're next. Trump's demanding they abandon China or face tariffs. But here's the dirty secret. China buys 60% of the world's semiconductors. Cut them off and these companies implode. Let's be clear, this isn't a trade war, it's a corporate massacre, and Wall Street knows it. Tech stocks are crashing, bonds are bleeding, gold's skyrocketing, the smart money's fleeing America. Now let's talk about the Fed. Jerome Powell's sweating bullets. Why? Because Trump's trade war is torching his playbook. Powell just admitted tariffs mean higher inflation, slower growth. Translation, your grocery bill, about to double, your job gone, your savings, ashes. But Trump doesn't care. He's too busy threatening to oust Powell and install a puppet. His dream, a Fed that prints money to fund tariffs. Hyperinflation be damned. We're going to have the best inflation, folks. The biggest, most beautiful inflation. Sound familiar? 2008 all over again. But this time, there's no bailout, no Fed put. Powell's final words, we won't save your stocks. Translation, start prepping. Let's talk about you, the American consumer. Confidence is cratering. Inflation expectations just hit 6.7%, the highest since 2008. Translation, panic. People aren't buying cars. They're skipping vacations. They're eating ramen to afford rent. And Trump's response, let's tax iPhones. Apple's stock already down 12% this month. Why? Because China makes iPhones. Tariffs equal $200 price hikes. You buying that? Nope. Jobs vanishing. Payroll growth's been sliding since 2021, wages stagnant, and the Fed's solution? Keep rates high, because screw you, that's why. Here's the kicker, this isn't cyclical, it's structural. Trump's trade war isn't a temporary slump. It's a permanent reset. Goldman Sachs warns 45% chance of recession, JP Morgan 50-50. But here's what they're not saying. Once consumers stop spending, the dominoes fall fast. Sound like 1929? Exactly. Now let's talk survival. Gold's up 110% since 2020. Bonds crashed 45%. The message, the world's ditching the dollar. China and Russia are hoarding gold. India's buying record amounts. Even the ECB's quietly stacking. Why? Because the dollar's days as king are numbered. Trump's trade war is the final nail. If he guts the Fed, prints trillions, and ignites hyperinflation, gold hits $10,000. Guaranteed. Meanwhile, bonds are toast. Investors demand 4.4% yields just to hold US debt, the highest since 1991. Why? Because America's broke. Think the Fed will save you? Powell said no rate cuts, no bailouts. You're on your own. So, what's next? A global liquidity crunch, banks failing, credit freezing, markets seizing. Here's your survival guide. 1. Dump US stocks. They're dead money. 2. Buy gold physical now. 3. Bet against the dollar. Crypto, yuan, anything. Trump's trade war isn't a policy. It's an extinction-level event. And if you're not ready, you will not survive. Drop a comment. Gold or bust. Smash like, subscribe, and pray. The storm is here, and it's only getting worse.